QuietRock 530 RF is a high-performance sound-damping gypsum panel that delivers radio frequency shielding, superb noise reduction, and fire resistance in a single product. QuietRock 530 RF is engineered for construction of high-security environments such as SCIF rooms, government offices, and data centers. This video will show you how to install QuietRock 530 RF along with some helpful tips for making your installation a success. Let's get started. Radio frequency mitigation is a specialized process that will require specific tools and materials. Along with QuietRock 530 RF, you'll need Quiet RF shielding tape, Quiet Seam RF conductive compound, and RF conductive foil. Here's a list of the other items you'll need. For a complete list of materials and tools needed, see the QuietRock 530 RF installation instructions on the website. Surface-mounted outlet boxes are preferred. If flush-mounted, however, the boxes must be metal and solid with no holes. They also need to be sealed with quiet putty on the outside of the box, creating a seal around the box, and ultimately to the drywall that will later be installed. After sealing any penetrations with quiet putty, the next step is to apply a 1/4-inch bead of Quiet Seal Pro acoustical sealant along the wall frame at the floor. Then measure and cut RF foil to cover the length of each wall. Apply RF foil to studs so at least 6 inches of the foil rises up the studs and the rest creating a barrier at the floor. Now we're ready to measure and cut the 530 RF board. When installing less than full panels or making cutouts, you'll need to cut and rebuild factory edges to maintain proper grounding and RF shielding. To do this, first cut the panel as desired using a saw or router. Orient the panel with the conductive metal taped edge facing up. Apply 1 3/4 inch Quiet RF shielding tape 1/2 to 3/4 inch from the cut edge on panel face, allowing the extra tape material to hang off the side. Apply Quiet Seam RF with a putty knife to the cut panel edge. Make sure to use enough seam to coat the exposed metal edge in the panel's core. Fold the remaining shielding tape over the coated edge, ensuring maximum contact between the metal core, quiet seam, and tape. The final trimmed panel should have Quiet Seam RF held in place with the metal tape. Be sure to properly seal all plumbing, electrical, and mechanical penetrations in the same fashion to rebuild the factory edges. The fluted deck is an integral part of the RF installation, forming a metal-to-metal connection at the top of the assembly. When cutting the pattern in the 530 RF board, score the cut with a blade first so it doesn't tear and is easier to cut. Then use a jigsaw to cut the pattern. Try to get the cut as close as possible to the correct pattern to avoid gaps greater than a 1/4 inch. Check the fit of the cut to the fluted deck. Once the fit is verified, it's time to rebuild the factory edges. Cut pieces of the 1 3/4 inch RF tape to the lengths of each section. Adhere 3/4 to 1 inch width of the RF tape to the face. Apply Quiet Seam RF to the sticky side along the edge of the panel. Then fold the tape over the quiet seam. Repeat this process for each section, making sure there is overlap at the corners. After the QuietRock 530 RF is installed against the ceiling deck, use the 3/4 inch RF tape to connect the panel to the metal deck. Now, you're ready to install the rest of the boards. Orient the panels so the conductive metal tape is installed on the finished side of the board. The edges of the panel at the perimeter must have conductive metal tape exposed. Screw the panels into the metal studs. Install screws every 8 inches at the edge of the panel and every 12 inches in the center of the panel along the studs or in accordance with fire resistance design requirements. Apply 3/4 inch Quiet RF shielding tape to connect adjacent QuietRock panels, making sure it overlaps the conductive metal edge on both panels. Make sure you have 100% metal-to-metal contact while eliminating all pinholes and voids. Once all the panels have been installed, you're ready to finish the drywall. Use a setting compound, also known as hot mud, on the initial bedding coat. This is required because the metal tape and paper on the board can crack if lightweight, easy sand compound is used. After the initial coat, finish the board with joint compound as you would any other drywall product. You can finish screw heads as normal with joint compound. That's it. Your installation of QuietRock 530 RF is complete. Your room is now secure. QuietRock 530 RF provides shielding from radio frequency, noise intrusions, and fire resistance in a single layer installation. More efficient, less materials, and trusted results.